What's going on, everybody? It's AG here. Today, we're reviewing Texas Chainsaw Massacre from 1974, widely heralded as one of the classics of all time, one of the greatest horror movies of all time. And I hadn't seen it until like a couple weeks ago. So let's go ahead and review it here. Now, this movie is directed by Tobe Hooper, also directed Poltergeist, which many of you probably have seen. And this one, like I said, widely heralded as a classic. Leatherface often put on a lot of people's horror Mount Rushmores, along with like Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, people like that. So it's a classic for a reason. Now we'll get to that at the end, as far as if I think it's better than the remake or not, and my grade on it. But first off, let's talk a little bit about the movie and the pros of it. The starting off here, the pros is it kind of is a pretty simple format and pretty simple premise for a movie. And that is to its benefit here. It's a short movie. You know, they don't really do that nowadays. Now movies are always over 2 hours almost. This one's about an hour and a half, pretty short, about 90 minutes, and doesn't really waste any time. The pros of it, like I said, follows a group of friends and they're kind of going on this vacation, and they pick up a hitchhiker in kind of this redneck type of town where there's probably a little low population, about 100 people or so, and it really does not waste any time getting into it. And the friends format is to the benefit of this movie here, because you kind of get their relationships with each other and kind of get attached to some of the characters, is why, you know, in terms of why they may be searching to try to find their friends, stuff like that. And it's quick and to the point. Right when they interact with that hitchhiker, all heck breaks loose, and it's just full on pedal to the metal from there on out. Doesn't waste any time getting into it with Leatherface. And first time you see him, it's border, not necessarily going for a jump scare, but it's going to hit you because you don't expect it to hit that fast. Like I thought it was going to take a lot of time before we actually saw him, and it just right out of the gate, he comes and grabs one of the friends, and it doesn't waste any time getting into it. And another thing with it is it's not going for anything spectacular. It's not trying to win an Oscar with its picture. It's trying to be dark. It's trying to be gritty. It's trying to be nasty. And that's kind of to the benefit of it. It almost feels like a legit found footage horror film, you know, as far as like somebody could have filmed this and you found it. Like it's a realistic thing. It doesn't feel like a movie. And whether that's part of the acting, whether part of the directing, I'm not sure. But again, it dive straight into it and you feel like you're in this part of the movie. Like you can see here, for example, this family of maniacs, um, and you feel for the person that's sitting on the other side of this camera, but you can't see them right now. I'm not going to spoil anything if you haven't seen it yet. You'll watch it, but you've probably seen it by now. It's again 1974, but it feels gritty and you don't necessarily feel scared for yourself, but for the character, it's like, yeah, she or he's in pretty deep trouble right now. And these people are so out there, so probably so slow mentally and so out there mentally that there's really no bargaining with these people. They're just straight up crazy. They're psychos. I mean, you can tell right now by Leatherface what he has on his face. Insane. And the good news here is, like I said, it's a small town. So, kind of bad news for the characters, but good news for the movie is everything is attached somehow. Like you may, you know, drive a mile this way, but whatever house you stop at, you're probably going to be screwed because they're probably related to the person that is helping Leatherface. And before you blink and you miss it, it's over. And that's to the benefit of this movie. Like I said, nowadays movies drag movies on way too freaking long. I don't want to sit in a movie theater for 3 hours unless it's an epic, quick 90 minutes to the point, not wasting a bunch of time over bullcrap stuff. Is to the benefit of this movie and in helps you enjoy the experience, in my opinion. Um, and that really helps this one out. You know, a lot of horror movies too nowadays kind of drag it out. The one that sticks out in my mind is It Too. So many flashbacks, so much other dialogue that was pretty unnecessary. You didn't need, that just really drags down the movie. That's not it here. As far as the negatives, not a lot of negatives in this movie, mostly positive. This isn't really a negative, but this dude right here, Franklin, one in the wheelchair, probably the most annoying horror movie character I've ever seen. This guy's just crying and whining the whole freaking movie. And if you've got a friend like this, probably everybody does, but he just ruins the trip for everybody. And that's what's going on with this guy. Like, no, don't go, don't go, don't, just crying. And you kind of find yourself hoping that Leatherface just slashes this guy's neck. And, you know, spoiler alert, that might happen. But no real negatives for me. The one thing was for me that this thing has been heralded as a classic, like I said, but personally, I thought the remake was better. I've seen the remake before, But I thought the remake was a lot better than this movie, and that's kind of what brought it down a little bit for me because I was expecting 10 out of 10, and it is good, but it's almost so simple that that does kind of bring it to a detriment. I thought the 2003 remake starring Jessica Biel was a lot better, I thought, but overall, though, a pretty good movie. So as far as Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1974, I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. Definitely worth the watch. Definitely pretty simple. So again, it's only 90 minutes, something you can throw on one night and be done with it pretty quickly. Does engage you very quickly as far as the movie. You're going to be engaged, and you're not going to be able to look away once it starts because once it starts, it's pretty bombastic to the point. You know, it's not going all over the place. But 8.5 out of 10. Definitely worth the watch. I think it's streaming right now on Amazon Prime, so go check it out if you haven't seen it yet. But what are your thoughts on TCM 1974? Comment your ranking and your review down in the comment section. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for me.